Premium quality football shirts at an extremely affordable price. Sound good? If so, check out the sponsor of today's video, jerseyfifa.com. You can see that I've sent you some shirts and they really are top quality, so make sure to click the link in the description to go find a shirt for yourself or perhaps as a gift for someone else. And you can now use code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. That's code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. I really do recommend their product, so go take a look. Now let's get into the analysis. So all of the big domestic seasons are now over, meaning that all attentions are now turned towards the Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. So I thought I would do a bit of a tactical preview before the game later tonight. So as we've seen in several of the big games so far this season, personally I am of the belief that Ancelotti will probably ask his team to sit off Liverpool a little bit, giving Liverpool time to play the ball out from the back. As a result, I would expect the Liverpool defenders to have quite a lot of time on the ball, and whether Virgil van Dijk is fit or not, I would expect Liverpool to be able to dominate possession for most of the game with time on the ball. From here, I then think Liverpool will look to build possession in a 2-4 shape, with Thiago dropping alongside the holding midfielder in the centre, with the two fullbacks pushing up alongside them to play in this area. Who the actual holding midfielder will be remains to be seen. There are concerns over the fitness of Fabinho heading into the final, and that would certainly be a big loss. However, I do think that Henderson has shown he can do a job there. There are also fitness concerns over Thiago as well. He started the game on the last day of the season against Wolves, but he was forced off through injury early on in the match. But if he is missing from the team, it would be a massive blow. As I've been saying all season long, for me he is one of the most important players in this current Liverpool squad, simply because of his pure technical ability on the ball, and in this respect he is clear of the other Liverpool midfielders. If Liverpool are able to take control of the game using this shape, then it would create a bit of freedom for the right-sided central midfielder, allowing them to push further forward in order to provide support for the attack. Again, the individual playing in this position is still a little uncertain due to certain injury concerns. I think Klopp's preference would be to play Henderson in this position, but it is looking a little bit like he might be forced to play Keita in this role. In this sort of area, I think Sadio Mane will play an important role up front as well, thanks to his ability to drop into deeper areas in the midfield, and he's shown in big games recently that he is brilliant at doing this. Personally, I do think that this could be one of the most important tactical ploys of the game, because if Mane and Keita operate in this sort of area, then they could exploit the spaces either side of Casemiro in the Madrid midfield. From here, I also think it's fair to assume that the two Liverpool wingers will take up quite narrow positions in the final third, drawing the Madrid fullbacks in field, leaving space for Robertson and Arnold to exploit out wide. This is where Real Madrid could potentially face some issues, because they don't normally ask Vinicius Jr. to track back too much, but they simply may not have a choice because of the attacking ability of Arnold down the right hand side. Over on the other side, I don't think it will be quite as much of an issue, because I'm assuming that Valverde is going to play the game on the right hand side, so his defensive discipline could be enough to nullify Andrew Robertson. Again, this could be a crucial aspect of the game, because we all know how good the Liverpool fullbacks are at crossing, and those that have watched Real Madrid this season will know that they do struggle to deal with these balls into their defensive box. For this reason, I do think that the performance of Militao will be crucial. He is probably Real Madrid's most physically aggressive defender in the squad, so he may well be the one responsible for taking charge and dealing with these crosses. Another player whose performance will be crucial is Mohamed Salah. Let's be brutally honest about this, he hasn't been very good for large parts of the second half of the season. His standard has dropped massively, but he has still shown glimpses. The quality is obviously there for all to see, so despite being in poor form, he is more than capable of showing up in a big game and really delivering a little bit of magic for his side. What Salah turns up will be very important. On the other side, I think we all know what we're likely to get if Luis Diaz starts the game, which in my opinion would be the right decision. He's been brilliant since he came into the team, and I'm looking forward to seeing him up against Carvajal. In open play, I think we can see that Liverpool have plenty of ways to get at the Madrid defence, but their best bet might actually be from set pieces. Someone like Arnold has brilliant delivery, and again, Madrid struggle with these scenarios. Overall, I do think that Klopp will be quite confident going into the game, and rightly so, although I'm sure that his game plan will be largely dependent on which of his players are fit and ready for the game. But now let's take a look at Real Madrid. So immediately, I think that we will see some very different scenarios to what I've discussed up the other end of the pitch, because we all know how Liverpool look to play. They will almost certainly press high up the pitch as high as possible. Without wanting to say this is a guarantee, it pretty much is if we're being honest. We all know that Klopp asks his side to press high, and they are simply brilliant at doing it, so I would be very surprised to see a change away from that strategy. So, how will Madrid deal with this? Well, I do think they will struggle. We saw it in periods against Chelsea, PSG and Manchester City as well, and all of those ties, there were large spells where Madrid couldn't get out from the back because of the press. A key player to help with this will be David Alaba, because for me, he is Real Madrid's best ball-playing defender. But surprise surprise, yet again another key tactical player is facing a late fitness test to try and make it for the game. At the moment, it does look like Nacho may have to start the game as the left-sided centre-back. This isn't a major catastrophe, he is a very good player, but he just isn't quite at the level of David Alaba, so it would be a big loss. Regardless of all of this, there will inevitably be spells during the game when Real Madrid are able to get a bit more time on the ball, and it's probably most likely that they would use a 2-3 shape with Kroos dropping to the left. Personally, I would be extremely tempted to start Camavinga in this sort of role. No disrespect to Kroos, he is my favourite midfielder in the world, but in every Champions League tie this season, Camavinga has come on and had a massive impact. However, I do think that Ancelotti will probably opt to go with the experience of Toni Kroos in the side, and whilst it isn't what I would do, Kroos' passing ability, dropping to the left, will certainly bring a lot to this Madrid side. As a result of Kroos dropping into a deeper left position, this should allow Ferland Mendy to push slightly higher up the pitch down the left hand side, and we have seen in the past that he certainly can contribute by playing this sort of role. These advanced positions from Mendy will obviously provide some support for Vinicius Jr, and it will allow him to pick the ball up and travel inside a little bit, and this could potentially be Real Madrid's best method of winning this football match. We all know that he has been simply incredible this season. He still has frustrating spells, and that may be the case again, but whatever you do, don't write him off at any point in this game, because he can produce something from literally nothing. Vinicius Jr will also receive some support from Benzema as well, and despite scoring so many goals from central areas, he often actually chooses to drift over to the left hand side in order to try and knit the attacking setup together. But of course, if he even gets a sniff of a chance in the box, then you would expect him to score. He has been phenomenal this season, and in the Champions League in particular, he has been scoring goals from literally nothing all campaign long. Whilst Madrid will carry threat down the left hand side, I'm not sure that the same can be said for the right hand side, because if Valverde is starting on the right, then he will almost certainly look to move into more central areas. As I was saying earlier, Valverde's engine will be crucial to Real Madrid's performance, but I do have some concerns that it could leave Madrid's attack slightly unbalanced again, so it will be interesting to see how this area of the pitch plays out. One thing I do think that will happen is that Luka Modric will try and support the attack. If Madrid are to win, then they will need Modric to be on top form, because again he has had a brilliant Champions League campaign, so he could be the key. Whilst Madrid will carry threat in possession, I think Liverpool will probably dominate the ball for most of the game, so Madrid's best method may be to play on the counter-attack, with Vinicius and Benzema really leading the attack. Again, the success of the counter-attack may depend on the fitness of Van Dijk. If he plays, then it will be an excellent battle, but if he is missing from the defence, then Madrid may well feel as though they can get to them on the counter-attack. Another fascinating battle for me is going to be Vinicius Jr up against Alexander-Arnold. The Brazilian won this battle last time, and he's improved even more since then, but Trent is now better defensively, so it could be fascinating. I also have the feeling that it may be another young Brazilian that holds the key, and that is of course Rodrigo. I think he is unlikely to start the game, but as things progress and defenders start to tire, he could come on and set this match alight. Again, I do think that Ancelotti will be reasonably confident coming into this game. Liverpool probably look like the better team on paper, but this Real Madrid team just knows how to get the job done, and they can always produce some magic. Because of this, I'm just so excited to watch this game. I do just want to clarify though that these are predictions, they aren't guarantees, it's just a few ways that I can see the game going, and I will of course be analysing the full game on Sunday morning, but let me know what you think and how the match is going to play out. Get in the comments down below, put your predictions, and I will see you guys in the next one.